Hello everyone, welcome to Roma Theory. DUVAN ZAPATA, a here we go, is going to come in these next hours, potentially, as Fabrizio Romano speaks about this deal, which is about to be finalized. Roma are gonna get another striker after yesterday's incredible performance from Andrea Belotti. There are a few things which I want to talk about today. Zapata, Belotti, and obviously Marcos Leonardo, because yes, it's not going to happen now, but it's going to happen in January. And, it's always good. It's always better later than never. That's kind of the analogy I gave when it comes to this deal. But obviously, it would be wrong for us not to start by speaking about DUVAN ZAPATA. And in fact, I'm going to start off with Fabrizio's statement, who goes, AS Roma are close to completing DUVAN ZAPATA's deal from Atalanta. Permanent move being finalized. Talks now at final stages. AS Roma plan would be to sign Marcos Leonardo for January and DUVAN ZAPATA now. So that's the plan, added onto a Belotti, which in the first game of the season has already improved himself. A Belotti which already one game into the season is just 8 goals away from double-figure goals. And look, first question for everyone in this live stream is, if Pinto, if you are Mourinho and Thiago Pinto presents you an attack composed of Belotti, Zapata, Marcos Leonardo in January, and Tammy Abraham in March, would you be happy? That's the first, that's the first question which I want to ask everybody here. With a selection of 3 strikers starting from January, 4 strikers starting from March, would you be happy? And this is the first question, because if you ask me, the answer is yes. My answer is yes, because, look, I'm very surprised by how Belotti started the season, and this is something which we're going to talk about in a few minutes. But, oh boy, I was not expecting it. I was expecting Belotti to score a goal, but Belotti scored a hat-trick yesterday if it wasn't for VAR. And all of his 3 goals weren't just tap-ins or, easy goals. All the 3 goals which he scored, including the goal which he got disallowed, were real striker goals, using that bulkiness which he has. So I am very, very, very surprised by Belotti's first game of the season. I'm obviously gonna also say it's the first game. We've got 37 more games to go until the end of the season, plus all the Coppa Italia and Europa League games. This is just the beginning. But starting the season with 2 goals, yes, we didn't win, and that's the most important thing. But when it comes to singular performances, Belotti man of the match without a doubt. Belotti man of the 90 minutes. He's been the man of the match in every minute yesterday because he played an incredible game. But getting back to Zapata, and I'll speak about the details of this. It's a permanent move. Something changed. Something changed which I think favored us finding an agreement with Atalanta. Because, as you may well know, if you've been following this channel in these past weeks, we wanted a loan. But then Atalanta suddenly changed their conditions, and they were only accepting permanent moves. Atalanta initially wanted a total, including base amount and bonuses, add-ons and all of that. Atalanta asked for 10 million. I don't think we are going to spend 10 million for Zapata. I think the total sum, including base, add-ons and bonuses, in my opinion, is going to be around 8 million. I could be wrong, but it's a permanent move. It means that we've fulfilled Atalanta's demands. I have to be very honest with you. As much as I'm happy to appoint him, I would have much rather prefer a loan. And I'm going to explain this in a matter of seconds. Zapata is 31 years old. Zapata is, yes, a Serie A proven player. Zapata is, yes, if fit, one of the best strikers in the league. If not the best after Osimhen. Yes, call it a big statement. No, it is. Because if Zapata's fit, he is by far one of the best strikers in this league. Problem is, if you combine the fact that he's 31 years old to the fact that last season he missed a lot of games, and we buy him permanently for 8 million, let's say, we are forced, when we sell him, we are forced to make more than 8 million from him. Is that going to be possible? No, it's not going to be possible unless Zapata scores like 20 goals this season. Otherwise, it's not going to be possible. And we've clearly seen it with the players which we currently have, which we have encountered so many difficulties in selling. You know, if we buy a 31-year-old player who is coming from a poor fitness season last year, it's going to be hard to resell him unless he has a peak season and gets back in his prime. So I would have rather a loan move, but I'm not complaining because Mourinho liked Zapata. And after Lukaku and Morata, which were Jose's first picks, Zapata is the third favourite pick coming from Jose. And the reason why we've accelerated the Zapata move in these last hours, seeing the fact that Atalanta's striker El Bilal got injured, is also because I think the Fredkins went to Mourinho and were like, look, I couldn't give you Lukaku, I couldn't give you Morata, but I know that Zapata's your third best pick, so I'm going to get you Zapata. So that's the way it went. Again, Fabrizio has confirmed this. We were waiting for Di Marzio to confirm it. Di Marzio speaks with Pinto, so when Di Marzio publishes a tweet, well, we should know when Zapata is awaited in Rome. Some sources say tonight, some sources say tomorrow. Will he be available for the Verona game on Saturday? I don't know. I mean, he is a Serie A player, so he doesn't need to get adapted to this system to this system. I wouldn't exclude it, but obviously putting Belotti out after such a performance is in my opinion would be a mistake. So yeah, I mean, that's done with Zapata. I think what he brings is that it's just that personality that Mourinho wants as a striker, using your physique to work with the team and score goals. And we've seen it with Belotti yesterday. Have we all seen how deep Belotti played yesterday? So I think that's the goal. Obviously, we need a Zapata, a fit Zapata. We hopefully need a double-figure goal Zapata as well as a double-figure goal Belotti. Because if we have two of our strikers which get 20 goals combined, let's say, I would put pen on paper right now. So yeah, I mean, speaking about Belotti, because we should speak about Belotti. What a game. I mean, we all watched yesterday's game. What a game did Belotti have yesterday. It was absolutely insane. He looked so confident on the ball. I'm not saying, and I'm not going to say it because fans who blame yesterday's non-win and they blame the referees because of the two fouls on Belotti are not being real. Those are two fouls which were never penalties. And, you know, when it's a penalty, I'll say it. And we all know what happened in Budapest. When it's a clear penalty, I will criticize the refs. But none of the two penalties on Belotti were penalties yesterday. Other than that, the goal which he got disallowed, the goal which he scored and all of that, he looked so good on the ball everywhere he moved. You know, yesterday we went from Dybala dependent to Belotti dependent. And if he keeps this momentum, oh boy, I would be very, very happy. Very, very happy. We drew against Salernitana. Go watch the match reaction if you haven't already. But it's a draw against a team which we should beat. And when you draw at home against a team which you should beat, it feels like a defeat. I ain't gonna lie. But if you ask me, what I take away from yesterday's game, which was the first game after a lost European final, after a lot of time away from the pitch, I have to be very honest with you. I picked up way more positive things than yesterday's game than negative things. Belotti looked sharp. Aouar looked class in the first half. Paredes and Renato Sanchez, in my opinion, got subbed in exceptionally well. What Renato showed me in the space of 20 minutes tells me one thing. If Renato Sanchez can keep his fitness, he can eat every single Serie A player up alive with his speed and physique battles. The only thing which wasn't good yesterday is the lack of concentration in defense. But there's an aspect of this which, in my opinion, this is Simo's perspective, I take as a positive. I would rather... No, let me rephrase this. If being less concentrated in defense and therefore conceding more goals will mean being way better in attack and scoring more goals, I am all up for it. If conceding more goals means more entertaining games, put pen on paper right now. Now, I'm not saying that I would take a 2-2 draw against Salernitana rather than a 1-0 win. No, please don't clip that, because that's not what I said. What I'm saying is, I'd rather draw 2-2 than draw 0-0. And the defense yesterday looked weak because we are undergoing a transition. In the first half, it was a dominion. It was a dominion which ended 1-1 because Candreva just decided to turn into prime Messi yesterday. So, again, I take way more positive things away from yesterday's game than negative things. But with that being said, these are games which we have to win. Full stop. The only reason why I am not forgiving, because the season has started, but the only reason why I'm not that pissed as I would be if this game would have been played in February is because it's the first game of the season. And if we play more games like we played yesterday, we're going to win more games than last season. So, that's the way I see it. But now we got to win against Verona. Lazio lost. That obviously made the day better. Lazio losing in a comeback at the 80th minute. I mean, what do you want? I wanted a Roma win. That's what I wanted. But also, Marcos Leonardo is going to become a Neuron player in January. He spoke today in press conference and said that all he desired and wanted in this transfer window was... should I turn the light on? Yeah, there we go. That all he wanted in this transfer window was a Roma move. So he wants us so badly. He is literally putting us above everything. It's going to happen in January. And in these next hours, we should unlock ZAPATA. Other than that, I'm going to catch you in these next days with more transfer news. Do I expect more signings? I expect... The fact that we're getting Marcos Leonardo in January means we're not getting a new striker now. With that being said, I expect the defender to replace Ibanez and add more layers to our defense, and then I would call it quits. But yeah, I mean, a lot of people are saying Mason Greenwood has been released. What do you think? Can he come? I'm more of a no than a yes person, and I fully agree with Rennie. And I'm going to read you this comment out loud because maybe not everybody can see it. Just because charges have been dropped against Greenwood doesn't mean he's innocent. Anyone who understands the UK criminal justice system gets that. I don't want him anywhere near Roma. And I have to agree with that. Because the fact that the charges have been dropped means nothing. The fact that charges have been dropped, the fact that he has married the girl which he potentially has abused and had a child together means absolutely nothing, ladies and gentlemen. Let's face it. And I want everybody here to face this situation as a serious person. The only reason why they are still together, they had a kid together, is because of money. That girl, what's her name? I don't even know. Would rather stay, have a child, live and marry her potential abuser and get all the millions which he gets rather than divorce, break up, and move on. And that's just the sad part of society nowadays. I don't want to get political in this stream because it's got nothing to do with football. But they had a child together all because of money. Full stop. So the fact that the charges have been dropped means nothing in my opinion. In fact, I do still think he did abuse that girl despite all the charges. You know, we had voice recordings, ladies and gentlemen. So we need to remove these toxic elements from our team. Because I'll give you an example. What happened? Look, you look at Man United. You look at the downfall of Man United in these last years. The reason behind it, because of the toxicity around them in these past years, with all of the players which they had. That's not what football is about. That's not what the spirit of a football team needs. You know, so no, I don't want Greenwood. That's my answer. I have no doubt whatsoever that Greenwood was a fantastic player, a generational talent. But again, we need more than that in football. We need serious human beings. Is ZAPATA coming? Yes, most probably. Fabrizio did confirm. So here we go. Expect in these next few moments, in these next few hours. But who am I talking about? I am talking about Greenwood. Right, Simon. Right, a weird question. Can you grow facial hair? Yes, I absolutely hate it. And I'm currently in the Dead Sea in Jordan, and apparently they fully disadvise to cut your facial hair when you get in the Dead Sea because it's gonna start itching. But yeah, look, I'm gonna leave you. Zapata is set to become a new Roma player in these next few days, hopefully. And yeah, let me know that in the comment section your thoughts, your opinions on the details of the move on the player and all of that. Would Zapata and Belotti play together, or will Jose just play one of them with Dybala, Pellegrini, Aouar, and all of these players around them? And yeah, by the way, shout out to every one of you guys, and shout out to anyone who's watching from Jordan. People here are amazing as human beings, kind, respectful, and all of that. So yeah, Jordan is a wonderful place. I'm going to catch you soon. Smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, and I'm going to catch you soon. Take care. Enjoy your, what's the day? Monday. Enjoy your Monday, and sempre forza Roma. New week, new preparation for Verona on Saturday. Crucial 3 points. Talk to you soon. Simo out.